Previously on opening my new gold mine. For the last 2 years, I have been reopening a 125-year-old gold mine, and we have been drilling, blasting, and mining actual gold. In a previous episode, Harry and I made a discovery that we were drilling in the wrong direction, trying to hit our rays, and it really took the wind out of our sails. Since then, we have changed our strategy and started mining towards the rays, hoping to stay in ore the entire time. We blasted our first round of ore heading towards the rays, and in this episode, we start bagging up the ore and moving it through the mine to the truck to get it down the hill.
The day after the blast, they're scaling their way in. Our tool station is in good working order. Our wall has held. The sandbags held back the blast. And this is just the condition of our wall from the waste shot. So Elliot here is checking the back. He got his partner there backing him up. Buddy system. We're gonna get a look at this this ore shot here in a sec. We're gonna get Jason's reaction on the shot pile here. I'm gonna film him while he's filming himself.
Yeah, Harry's filming me while I'm filming him, and Pete's filming me too. It's a whole filming party up here.
Yeah.
They got all lit up. I'm gonna walk around the corner and see what we got. Wow. Well, that went. Our tarp worked. All the muck is, I mean, it's a little more spread out than I wanted, but it's all separate from the waste, right?
Yeah.
It's like the driller and blaster knew what he was doing.
Yeah, maybe we could do it again.
First time ever. Boy, it looks really good. It looks like it's all quartz. I don't see, it's 95% vein. From what I'm seeing here, we'll get it washed down, and that'll tell us. But man, that looks good. Back up in there just a little bit.
No, it's shotgun back there.
Just a little bit. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what the vein looks like. If it's rolling up, if it's pinching. The bottom 4 holes I did at first were in the waste. Yeah, we squared the face up pretty darn good. Oh, it's like we're real miners, Harry.
Don't tell anybody.
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it.
That's what we're doing. Oh, look at this good lightning quartz in there, right there. Oh boy.
We're gonna need to get another saw.
I know. Saw slab in production.
Yeah.
All right, let's scale our way in and we'll start bagging this up. Here's our tattletale at the end of the round, and that went. So that tells me the caps all went. Get this pile wetted down a little bit. There's no gas in here, very, very little. Maybe just a very hint you can smell with your nose. But get the dust knocked down. Get some of this ore washed off. Look at there. Look at that. Oh yeah. Beautiful ore. Big chunks. There's some nice slabbers in here. But it's all white. Heck, I mean it's all ore. These are going to be our first ore bags of the season.
Well, the boys are scaling the working face there and getting the back sounded, washed down and barred down. I got to get the highway open. So all of our bags that we fill of ore is going to go right through where my light is. So I'll get these bags down the end of the stope, knock the boards out, get our track running, and we're gonna be hauling.
Just leave that sitting like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Copy. I'm gonna move this one up.
How you holding it? I think you have to be over 35 to get that reference. Yeah. How do you know, neighbor?
I do, but I just can't.
Elliot has no idea what we're talking about.
Nope.
You have no idea what that's from?
I'm just happy to be included.
Oh my goodness. So this is the last remaining little spot of our nice slick that we had. We blew it all up. It was that really nice table, sloping table here. But on this slick, I have a theory I'm going to tell you about in just a second. But on this slick, in the past, I found some really, really good gold. And I think these gray streaks are actually tellurides that have been smeared in that fault slip zone. And they're all going this way. We saw that really nicely shown on the big slab. Here's another little section. The gray is tellurides. And there might be a piece of gold right there. And I'm telling you this because if you get a bag of this ore and you see this really nice, slick, smooth surface, really scour that for gold, because that's where the highest grade stuff is, right in that slick. Let me move and I'll kind of explain more in detail what I'm talking about. So to expand on our slip theory, to get you oriented, the slip in where we just blasted is over to my right, and the pocket where the really, really high grade stuff that's opening up is to my left. And those slicken sides are moving kind of at a 45 to my back. Not that any of that really matters for my explanation, but I just want to get you oriented. What I think is happening here is at the spot where we're blasting, there's a little dip, and then it's coming up, the vein is sloping up, and where the high grade is it's rolled up over a hump and it's sloping down just a little bit or even flattening off. And if you line up those slicks with the orientation of the movement and the roll of the vein, you get something that looks like this. Here's where we're working over here, and here's the pocket. And if you think of the top plate or the top piece of the slip as going this way, you're putting pressure on that slip here and closing down to a very small little slip like you saw there. And if there was gold and tellurides in there, it'd be kind of squished in that fault, in that slip. But as it rolls over this little hump here, and we get this big pocket opening up, let's see if I can do this right. It goes like this. And so it closes or keeps it closed here, and it opens a pocket right here on our vein where it starts to roll over. And that's where you start getting those really high-grade telluride zones, is the orientation of the vein movement and the rolling of the vein allows for that last little gasp of high-grade fluids to come through that slip. Where it's closed, it doesn't open up a big pocket, but where it opens up in that vein orientation, you can get some really, really high-grade goodies. And I think that's what's happening here, is you've rolled over that hump, the top is moving that way, and you've opened up this pocket right here that we see. So what I want to look for in the future is the slicks are going this way, and parallel with the slicks, anywhere you get the vein rolls over, you could have a pocket open up on the back side. But if the vein is moving up in orientation with those slicks, it's going to close, and it might not be as high grade. There still could be a very small amount of high grade fluids in there that got through or solidified, but where that pocket opens on the back side as you roll over a hump, that's where we're going to be looking for those high grades. So in theory, if you started mining perpendicular and poking holes through perpendicular to those slicken sides, and you start finding where that vein is going to roll, that's where you're going to be looking for the high grade. And our hope is that Harry and I have been talking about this for 2 years. Is that pocket is a linear feature, right? And so it should continue perpendicular to the slicken sides. So if you can get on that pocket and mine straight along that pocket where it opens up, all along that strike length, you should be in the pocket the whole time. So that's how pocket miners do it. You find a pocket, you figure out the orientation of the pocket, and you just stay on that pocket. We're going to come into it from the back side here. We might end up coming in from this side as well. We're going to leave a pillar right over here, but all this high grade's got to go. Anyway, that was a long explanation of how I think the pockets in this mine formed, and that's what I'm going to be looking for in the future. And so this is the perfect example. The pocket, this is the slip right here. There's some tellurides right along that slip. You can see the pocket open up right here. And we last year we blasted right through it, but it opened up right through here. And on the other side, it came across the drift, and it's right here again. And it's starting to pinch on this side. And we've come up and we've rolled over a little hump right here. The vein came up like this and rolled over, and you've opened up this pocket right here, and it's pinched down through it. So, Harry, we just need to find more of this stuff. Okay, this is where we need to mine.
Let's get on it.
Go find more pockets.
Yeah, you can see the end of the pocket right there where my finger is.
Right
So
here.
yeah, actually, Jason, yep, keep walking forward. Walk forward, yeah, wing it, keep going. Keep coming to me all the way out. Right there, where your left hand is, that's the end of it. And right across here, bam, that was where the pocket was.
It's right, the little end right here.
And we shot that all over the floor.
That's a big gold in it.
Yeah.
Specimens.
Yeah, that's the pocket.
So yeah, and if it's running, let's see, if the slits are running more or less this way, and so our pocket should be
Right.
perpendicular. So we need to start mining this way, and in 15 feet we'll hit it from both sides, and we'll leave this pillar in the middle. But I think our pocket's running right through here. Maybe more like this.
Yeah.
Something like this orientation, because I think it opens up right here again. But find that pocket and follow it.
I don't think I've met anybody that started their first round on a pocket and didn't know it.
Sometimes people are just lucky.
Yeah. So what are you looking for, Jason? Why are you scraping the floor like that, the sill?
I'm just seeing how far down the quartz vein goes. We got out here, we got some ore that's still hanging on the footwall here. So we don't want to leave any, but I also don't want to dilute it with a bunch of waste.
Yeah.
So we're just seeing how far. Yeah, that's some good ore. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Look at this, Harry.
Oh yeah, look at the sulfides in that. Nice.
More good stuff.
Mount Baker lightning cord. First time that's seeing light. When Jason's looking at his vein here, I'll go check on Boy Wonder here. Boy Wonder, what do you got going on here?
Filling bags, zipping bags, stacking bags.
How many bags we got?
Plenty.
Huh?
Plenty.
Yes.
75.
All right, 75 bags.
Right here.
So that's the bottom.
Mostly fines or mostly coarse or both?
Mostly coarse.
Mostly coarse?
Probably 80% coarse right now.
Okay, so 20% of the bags are going to be the fine and awesome.
At least in this shot.
Seems to be
Awesome.
broad.
And our trusty, we had to get a new scale as we waterlogged the other one, so
What I'm hoping is
I've been doing my best to baby this one.
yeah.
maybe it
but
pulls up a little bit.
It was
and then
$39, so-
we're gonna possibly go back there.
It's holding up so far.
Yeah.
There's waste right in the bottom of this hole, so we pulled it right to the
Beautiful. Nice, look at that.
bottom. There's some good stuff down that footwall.
Yeah, look at that. And it doesn't look nasty, it looks good.
Looks good. Looks really good.
Put it in the bag.
Yep.
Working on it.
Load it up. The people want lightning cords. Give them lightning cords. There's Telluride right there.
No way. Down there?
Right there.
Yeah, I see it. I'll get
Right,
my headlight
see-
out of the way.
See that slip? It's right off the slip. Here's more. Look at this.
No, we're not that lucky.
Oh yeah, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I can't. Hold on. Let me see if I see any gold in it first before I show it to you.
There you are.
I think there's a little piece of gold right there. I think it's just inside the quartz, right on my thumbnail. Now, I was talking about that earlier. Right along this slip is where the
Yeah, I see it. It's right there inside the quartz.
yeah.
Right. My grubby little fingers. Right there on the tip of my thumb. See if I can get this. Yeah, you can see it inside the quartz. That's awesome.
There you go. Right on our slip, just like we thought.
find some more.
Yeah.
What I really want to do is find where it's on the surface of the slip. I found one year I found a fantastic piece of rock.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to go put this in one of the bags.
Okay.
All right, Elliot, put this in one of the bags here. There's a piece of gold right on the end. Oh, someone's going to get that bag.
Okay.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right, see there's the slip,
Whoa.
and there's the tellurides right there.
Whoa. You don't know how happy that makes me.
Yeah. We're still in the good stuff.
Yeah, right there at the bottom middle.
We're still in the good stuff.
So you can kind of see how it's like gray, gunmetal gray. And then
Where's that hose?
Right behind you.
And then
By the tone.
if you look, the one I just showed you guys earlier. So when you go in through your bags, you can see the pyrrhotite is real shiny, sparkly, compared to the tellurium.
Yeah, there's more.
Distracted. There's a piece of gold right there.
Is there?
Yeah, right there. Right on the top there, by my thumb.
Nice.
So you can see how this is like a gunmetal gray. It's kind of like a gunmetal color. It's kind of dull, almost like lead, but it still has a little luster to it. And you come over to the pyrrhotite and it's all like sparkly and shiny. It's better when you're outside to see it in the sunlight, but you can still get it with a headlight.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm ruining your shot.
Yeah, we got water on the lens.
Oh no, did I? Sorry. I'm trying to get that.
Water on the lens. All right, we'll check in later.
So these gray things, there's tellurides there, all along this slick surface. There's a bunch of tellurides. I'm looking for gold. It's hard because right along that slip, it's all oxidized.
Yeah.
But this slip could be just absolutely loaded with little bits of gold.
Maybe we take a piece back and put it in dilute sulfuric. It'll eat all that iron up.
Yeah.
And if there's any shiny, it'll show. Little chemistry. Or we could just put it in the bags.
Or just put it in the bag.
Put it in the bags.
Someone will get a good bag here. We've been hand pulling a bunch of good. Where's that bag? Right here.
Yeah.
Here, there's another piece, big tellurium piece on there. Put it in there. There's a good bag for somebody. Yeah, it's all down along here.
Oh yeah.
More tellurium in the bag. That's a high grade bag. Whoa, look at this piece of tellurium. It's just, yeah. All right along that slip.
Huh. Yeah, we learned something new today.
Yeah.
Harry shanked his first steel and Jason found gold in the slip.
That's a good bag. Somebody's getting.
Here, get a different bag. You don't want to get some.
We gotta dilute it.
Yeah, you gotta dilute
Dilute
that.
the hype. Can't have one person be getting all the gold.
Oh, there's gold all over the floor right now.
Yeah, there's gold all over the place.
There's you guys another bag.
What's this look like?
Where's this one off? Can I do this? Do this with a.
Put it in the bag. Yeah, that's where the gold is. Right along that slip. And when that slip.
Oh yeah, there's a piece right here
Gold?
on the top. Where'd it go? Yeah, right there. A piece of gold right there, and this was sitting on the top of the slip.
Oh
See
yeah,
it?
that's a nice piece.
I don't know if I want to put that in the bag.
Yeah, let's look.
I don't want to slab that. Wow, I didn't expect that.
I really want to find a piece. Maybe that's not a pillar over there, Harry.
Uh-oh. Klaus says 15 feet and 5 feet. 15 feet of stope, 5 feet of pillar. Don't break the rules.
Don't break the rules. Yeah, but there's gold in that pillar.
Well, you got this little hump here.
Did you get that gold, Harry?
What?
On camera?
I don't know how well it showed up. Let me try again. Where's it at? Right there.
I don't know. Better with the light, bright light, or
Oh yeah, I got it. Nice. Yep.
nice little piece.
Yeah.
All right, pass that back to Pete. He's gonna put it in a random.
So Jason's over here in a different part of the stope, and he's sitting here playing with a pocket he knows about.
Yeah.
And I can't get him to go help me do bags. I don't blame him.
Harry, would you quit wasting time so we can go do bags?
Yeah, it's wasting time to do bags.
But it's hard when you're finding gold.
Well, I mean, that's why we're here.
That's why we're here. Here, put this in a bag.
Here.
Somebody's gonna get a good
Oh.
bag. Oh, here, that's the best piece. Put that in a bag. Don't show them. Put it in a bag.
Come on.
Somebody's gonna get a good bag.
I'm going over to Boy Wonder here. Well, you know what? I'll put it in here. There you go. That bag.
Bag!
It's in a green bag. It's in the green bag.
The green bag. Okay. Let's go do bags.
All right. Jason swears this is the last time he's going to wash it before we go do some other work.
Last time. Harry, we have got to get bags out of this mine. You can't keep looking at the face all day. All right, let's go. All right, well, because we've been drilling the wrong way, and we're not going to make the raise this year, we've had to come up with a different solution for getting the bags down. And so what we're going to do, I think, well, I don't know what we're going to do. We're making it up as we go. But the idea is that we're just going to send the bags down the chute without the buoy. That's our goal, is just to be able to stand at the top of the raise and shoot the bags down. So a couple of, well, many of you actually suggested some of these things that we're going to try. So we're at the bottom of the raise. One of our main problems with sending bags down is right there at that corner, right there. As the bags launch off that corner, they break. As they come around that corner and they get going real fast, and they break and shatter and go all down here. So what we're going to try at that transition point right there is we're going to hang essentially a mud flap. So the bags come down, they hit the flap, they lose a lot of velocity, and then they roll down the chute to the bottom. And then the other thing we're going to try is we're going to take boards. Also, lots of you mentioned this. Take some boards. We're going to put them right, butt them up against those two right there, and we're going to, instead of having this come straight down essentially to the tires, we're going to gradually have this come down and ramp out to a flat where you can load the cart. And that way you can have a guy at the top shooting bags down, the guy at the bottom here grabbing the bags right off the little table, putting them on the cart, and they can go out. Right, Harry?
I'll see how many bags we blow up in this process. One of the differences between this year and last year, we just filled bags until they're full, and then we sent them down the hill. This time we're weighing them to 25, 21, and 28, so by the time you get them, they're the right weight because they're wet. Those seem to survive a little better. So we didn't think of that last year. No more rope. I hate rope.
No more rope, no more buoys, no more nothing.
I hate lines.
So wish us luck here. We'll try and capture some of this, but we're all wound up about our drilling the wrong way, and we're going to try and slap this thing together and make something work here on this raise, because it sounds like we're going to be dealing with this for the next couple of years until we work over to our new raise in the correct direction. This is all the screws we have. Okay.
That deck was screw expensive.
That deck was, yeah, we've got more at camp, so we'll go get some more if we have to, but I think we can at least get the concept down. It's the Jason Harry Timber Show, and we've decided our goal is to make this as ugly as possible. So we've added a stole and a cross member. We're going to just come right off our split right there. Oh, you can't see it. Right there. Right there. Bring some boards down to that cross member. We're going to add another cross member here. And if we have to, we can come a third stage out behind us, but we're all ready to our track. Harry's working on cutting boards. I think we've used one screw so far.
I'm laughing. I'm still laughing about the Harry and Jason Timber Show. I lost my breath there for a second.
Jason and Harry Timber Show, or Harry and Jason Timber Show.
Our goal is to use as few screws as possible. If it doesn't cost anything, we'll do it. If it costs money, then we're not doing it.
That's right. If it's free, we'll do it. Okay, 45-minute hack job. We got a ramp that we're about to test. We're gonna go install that mud flap thing up there at the corner. But this is kind of what we're looking for. We got a little walkway, we can still get to our ladder. The bags should come right down here. Depending on where they end, we can add another section or just unload them right onto the cart. What's going to be sad?
What's sad is this a 2x4 that came from the deck, and in it is one of your rock bolts that just pulled right out of the rock, didn't even break. But it happens to be in a perfect place to attach this.
Yeah.
We're going to reuse it because it's free.
Was it free?
It was free.
Then we can use it.
We can use it.
Jippo mining. Oh yeah. Let's see if I can get this shot like this.
You got part of your chain of command in here. They don't know what that is yet.
They don't know the chain of command yet.
Maybe we don't tell them. Well.
So now you're going to try and hang. How are you going to hang now?
It's hung.
Oh, that's where it's at. Oh, it's done.
It's done.
Ah! I thought you were going to hang it up higher. Let's see.
So we got about 2 feet. So essentially what I think is going to happen, the bag's going to hit it and it's not going to do anything. Or it's going to maybe slow it down enough.
Ah, I see.
If it doesn't slow it down enough, we add weight to it.
Yeah, okay. I get what I love the angle of the dangle there too. It's great.
It was free.
It was free.
I don't have to go in there and put something else up. If I have to lower it, I'll lower it, which isn't a problem. I want to see how that's going to work first before I start wasting time.
Well, I'm sure like all the other things in the mine that we do, this is going to work absolutely perfect the first time.
Yeah, just like every other time, right?
So every other time. So do I go throw a bag down the raise at you?
Yeah, do a fine one.
A fine bag? Okay.
Yeah, that way when it blows up, I don't get hit by a bunch of rocks.
That's good.
Okay.
All right, as you can see, we got bags and bags and bags. We've weighed them all to 25 pounds. This one feels like it's about 35 pounds, but trust the scale. And now we're gonna send it down the chute. You ready, Harry? Bag!
I'm happy to report that I have an intact bag at the bottom. No tears. Send another fine bag. It worked. Send a fine bag. Send another. I'm too excited to form complete sentences. Send it. Bag. Touchdown. Send it. All right, I'm ready. Bag. It made it. Bag. Send it. Bag. Made it.
Hey, it worked.
I'm too excited to talk. I'm going to go up top.
You did. I want to watch the bags come down. All right, I'll clear this off. So what do we send? 8. We sent 8 bags down in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, it takes us 3 minutes for 3 bags.
Oh man, this is something else here. Why didn't we do this earlier?
Because we filled our bags with 50 pounds and it didn't matter.
50-pound bags, and we were going to break through that raise in 20 minutes. That didn't happen. All right, let me get these bags off and we'll send some bags down. Holy moly. All that. So Harry, all this ore coming down in the chute is from when you dumped a raw bucket? Yeah. So we were experimenting with dumping raw ore down the chute. That's where all this little tinkly stuff is coming from. But the bags are staying intact. Okay, bag! Holy cow, that works so good. This is so much easier than the buoy. I'm not even sweating yet. It had to happen.
Along with the production.
Well, and if we're going to get 30 or 40 ton down this year, we couldn't do it with the buoy. Right now, we can get 25-pound bags down all day long with this thing, and it works great.
We just gave us like a week of work right now.
I know.
Good job, everybody.
In 45 minutes. An hour and 15.
And we still got screws left.
And we still got screws left. We only used 12 screws. Awesome.
This spot's kind of interesting. I got all these boards and sandbags. I got like a comm line, and it kind of looks like we're in a trench or something.
Trench warfare, man. We're in tunnel warfare.
Tunnel warfare.
Tunnel warfare with the vein, and I think the vein's winning.
I don't know. We got a good fight on it today.
Yeah, we did.
All right, we have the last cart of the last shot going out. Stope. That's a hell of a bag pile there, huh?
Bags.
Bags for days.
Yeah, bags. A lot of bags. How many tons of ore was pushed down these rails? We're reusing it. The old timers used it. Right down these rails. There's our ore bags for now. Down the raise over there to the transferway, down the main raise and out. Tons and tons and tons and tons. And probably in today's value for gold, millions of dollars moved on these rails. It's cool working an old mine.
All right, I'm up here at the top of the stope down to the transferway here, so I'm just going to load the bags real quick and show you how we do it. One, two, three, 4, 5. Two at the same time, I like it. So the bags come down this little chute. You stack them on the cart. All right, so now I take the cart and I go to the next level. There's the transferway. The next bags are coming in behind me right now. There's the next set of bags coming. And I push this cart. We're going to do it different this year. We're not going to make stacks of bags anymore. So what we'll do, we'll take the bags. Bag! And we'll send them down this hole as fast as I can drop them. So the boys are up top about to send me down 10 bags. We modified the chute to catch it in an ore cart, so it'll take little or no effort to get the bags down the raise. Beautiful. Uh-oh. Hatch closed! Now let me haul his way 15 bags in the cart. They're going about 500 feet out to the blacksmith shop. So we moved 250 bags in 3 hours. From the stope down to the blacksmith shop. 2 guys in the bottom, myself up top from the stope to the transferway, dropping them down the chute. And the boys have stacked them up almost to the back in the blacksmith shop. Next time Jason comes up, we'll load 3.5 tons in the back of his truck.
These guys tell me they've been busy moving bags. Let's see what they're talking about. Whoa. Look at that. Muck wall. I like it. Let's see if I can get my light. Where's my light? There we go. Double bagged. Triple on the bottom. That's a lot of bags. Look at there. Good for them. These guys are superheroes. Little pile there. There's our course bags over there. Man, oh man, that's a lot of muck. A lot of bags for eBay. At the bottom of the raise, we got bags everywhere down here too. Look at the muck wall they built at the bottom of the raise, all the way to the back. And then here's another little new addition they made while I was gone. They're looking more and more like ore carts. Look at that. Come right down off the chute, whoop, plop right into an ore cart. Less handling, the better. I'm hauling more bags out. This is my last 20 to get a full load in the truck, but I wanted to see if you guys could hear Harry drilling. He's up that way about 60 feet. Cool. Well, we got a track repair problem here. I was pushing the cart, it hit a little divot in the track. It went nose up and just broke the whole 2x4 there. So our track's seen better days. We've pushed a lot of muck out on it. And I think what we're going to have to do is get some strap rail in here, which is just steel flat bar that will screw to the top to keep the top of the 2x4s in. This actually is looking pretty good right here, but they start to roll and get all crappy. And you put a piece of flat bar right on there and it keeps it nice and tight. I think the cart will actually run a lot better too. Another thing that we're upgrading here is our rail. We put this in 2 years ago with 2x4s. Dan Hurd helped me, and it is showing its age. And so what we're doing is we're taking the steel strap. It's just 1/8 inch by 1.5 inch flat bar. We're putting it right on top of the 2x4s, and it makes the cart so much easier to push up and down the haulage way. It's actually been pretty easy to put in. It's just you put the strap rail right on top where you want it, you get it lined up, you drill a couple of holes with the drill. Elliot comes behind me with the screws, we screw it in, or you have a little bend, you take the grinder and you just cut a notch out and you bend it around into that notch so you can make the corner. And if you got a little short piece that you cut the notch out of, you can use a pipe wrench to get those little tiny pieces around the corner. But we've got 200 feet or so of strap in, taking us about 2.5 hours. So I'm really happy with it.
We are getting our feet back under us, getting the mine tuned up, getting everything logistically set so we can move tons and tons of ore down to the truck and get it down the hill before the snow comes. There's lots more coming up on next episode, so stay tuned for that. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything, and check out those listings on eBay if you're interested in any ore or high-grade samples or specimens. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you on the next video.